I'm in the middle of 12 series, and I don't think I'm going to read them all. I know for sure I'm not going to continue them all. Welcome or welcome back to my channel. It is your girl Briyan D, and as you can tell by the title of this video, we are about to talk about these 12 series that I am in the middle of. Some of these have me in chokeholds and I don't want to let them go, so that's why I haven't continued the series. And some of them I don't plan to return to because the first book left a bad taste in my mouth. So let's get to them. So first on the list is this Poison Heart series. As you guys know, I read this book here with baby girl. We loved it. It's a middle grade YA fantasy novel, and it left off on a cliffhanger. And we actually about to get ready to read book number 2 now. Book number 2 is called This Wicked Fate. And my daughter was like, when we getting back to the series? So obviously it had us in a chokehold and we trying to figure out what's happening next. I love this book so much. If you have not seen my vlog about this book, go refer to the vlog when me and baby girl read the book and we did a review. We gave our thoughts and our review about the book. It was really good. It was so good, and I think this is going to become an auto read author for me and baby girl. I think it's safe to say that this author, Kaylin, she writes in a way that I would definitely want my baby girl to read from. She doesn't write in a derogatory way. She doesn't write explicit scenes. Of course, it's a YA novel, and I think the way she writes is very appropriate. My baby girl was already like, what else she got? Because my birthday coming up and I want some more. So we are definitely going to continue this series. We actually going to finish it over the Thanksgiving break. So yes, this is definitely a yes to continue. The next series is actually one that I started off in the Libby app via audiobook. I was looking for thriller Rex, and Danny over at Danny Reads recommended this book, The Arrangement by, what's her name? Kirsten Moglin. Y'all, that book was so good. It was very short. I think it was like under 200 and something pages because I was able to listen to the entire audiobook in like half of a workday. And what pissed me off was the Libby app didn't have book number 2. So I was hesitant. I'm like, I was just looking for something quick to listen to at work, but it literally draws you in. And the way that the book ends and all of the twists and turns in this book, I'm definitely gonna get book number 2. I had to buckle down and buy book number 2 as an ebook. And I keep checking back on Libby to see if they have book number 2 so I can listen to it via audio, but they don't. Currently, Kirsten's books is on KU. I think she's on KU for 90 days. So everybody in Facebook communities, like the bookish communities over on Facebook, have been raving about her books, reading her entire catalog. After Danny recommended this author to me and told me to start with the Arrangement series, after I read book 1, that's one of my favorite quick reads to recommend for people who are looking for a thriller rec. I highly recommend this one, and I'm definitely going to continue with this series. The next series I'm in the middle of is the Magnolia Parks Universe series. Y'all already know how I feel about this book. It reminds me of Gossip Girl. This is a Gossip Girl stan account. It was toxic, character driven. It reminds me of Chuck and Blair so much, which is so funny because I'm watching Gossip Girl now. And I remember just binging this book. I was reading it in the backyard. I was reading it on the couch. Like, I was just binging this book because I wanted to find out the tea, right? I needed the tea. Definitely got the tea. Definitely plan on finishing this universe. Now, this universe has 2 characters. Magnolia has her own few books, and then the next is Daisy. So Daisy's books start off with book number 2, but it's kind of like 2 series merged into the same universe. So I'm definitely going to Daisy because I want to see what side I'm on, Magnolia or Daisy. The next series I'm in the middle of, I have to look at my iPad because it's called In the Heart of Valentine series by Stephanie Nicole Norris. Now, I don't remember what the first book was called. However, I remember listening to the first one via audiobook over a year ago, and Libby did not have the rest of the books. Toxic, right? Yes, Libby is very toxic. She did not have the rest of the books. So I put a tag on there to let me know when you acquire the rest of the books so that I can finish the series. A year later exactly, I got a notification that book number 2 was available. I had forgot what the heck book number 1 was about, but I'm like, okay, it's a short read. I think they're like novellas. Let's go ahead and listen to it. So I listened to it. Those Valentine brothers are amazing, right? Love them down. However, this series has over 20 books. I ain't got time for that. If this series was still dropping in real time for me, I would pick them up as they drop. But because you already over 20 books in a game, I'm not even finna stress myself out like that. So if I pick up another audiobook for this series, it's just gonna be because I'm bored and in passing. Will I for real concentrate on completing this series? Absolutely not. So the next series I'm in the middle of is the Skyland series by Briyan. And y'all already know, yes, I'm going to complete the series because why not? The only reason why I have not completed it is because book number 3 does not come out until next year. So definitely finishing this series. I cannot wait to get the 3rd book and add it to my shelf. I read this first book via audiobook with my book club last year. Then I read book number 2 earlier this year. So I cannot wait to get the 3rd book in this series, and I'm definitely finishing it because why not? It's Briyan. A Good Girl's Guide to Murder by Holly Jackson. So this is a series I was very hesitant about because it is like a mystery series, and I've learned this year that mysteries are a really slow drag for me. Like, I think I prefer thrillers over mystery because you get more suspense in a thriller than you do in a mystery. Maybe if it was like a thriller mystery, I can get down with it. But a mystery by itself, I've been kind of hesitant. But I really enjoyed this one. Did I enjoy it as much as I would enjoy a thriller? No. And did I start watching the series? Yes. I did not finish the series though. And the reason why I did not finish the series is because I ain't got time to be reading their lips and trying to understand what they're saying. Okay? I ain't got time. But I acquired the entire UK version of the series at the Goodwill, and I only paid $9 for it. So yes, I spent my money on it. Definitely want to see what Pip got going next because I'm intrigued. I know it's gonna be slow for me, but I am still intrigued enough to open up book number 2. So yes, definitely gonna finish the series. The Love Struck series, y'all, this is a short read, okay? Short, sweet, straight to the point. I loved it. And when I figured out that this was a 3-book, like a trilogy, I was like, yes, give me the next one in line. And the next one just so happens to be fall themed. Like the cover of it is super cute. And we got introduced to the main character in book number 1. And I was intrigued. It was just a little bit of her, but I wanted to know more about her. And I think because these books are so short, I'm like, yeah, let's go ahead and just finish this series. I hear a lot of people talk about Mimi Grace and her writing, and I really love her writing style. And I just loved it. I loved book number 1, so I cannot wait to get to book number 2. I plan to read book number 2 before fall is out. And I don't know when I'm going to read book number 3, but I definitely plan to read it. The Legend Born Cycle by Tracy Deonn. Now this one, I don't know. I have book number 2 sitting on my shelf. However, fantasy is one of those new genres for me. Y'all know I just stepped into fantasy this year with reading this one plus this Poison Heart. And this one, it was good, but I had to read it physically and with the audiobook because some of the things I just did not understand. And I was a bit confused. However, I learned that I was just as confused as Bree, which is the main character in this book. So I picked up book number 2 via audio, and when I played it, I instantly started getting overwhelmed. So as of now, I don't know if I'm going to make it priority to finish the series, but because I already have book number 2, I feel like I need to go ahead and read at least book number 2. I know book number 3 is dropping next year, but if I really enjoy book number 2 and I feel like I enjoyed it enough to understand what's going on, then I will continue the series. But if I get to book number 2 and it has me confused as hell, I'm not doing it. So the next series I'm in the middle of is called Cypress Lake Reunion series by Nicole Devine. I'm going to post the picture here of book number 1, but I just realized that this was a series. I received the arc for this book and it was very good. However, this was the author's debut novel. So I'm not really excited to get to book number 2. I don't think I'm going to get to book number 2 at all. I don't think I'm going to make that priority. So as of now, I can pretty much say, nah, I'm not going to finish that series. So the next series is the Curve series, which book number 1 is Curvy Girl Summer. As you guys know, I did that book via audiobook. This was my second time trying the book. The first time I did a soft DNF on it. And I talk about all of that in my previous video where I did a reading vlog finishing up Curvy Girl Summer. I think this book was overhyped, and I know book number 2 is supposed to be coming out soon, and I think it's about the male main character, and I'm really not interested because I feel like she made the female main character in this book desperate, so I definitely don't want to see how she makes the male main character in the next book. So it's gonna be a no for me, dog. The last series I am in the middle of is the Hollywood Renaissance series. Now, I didn't realize that this was part of a series. I have not heard Kennedy Ryan talk about when she will be releasing any more of the books. I seen her post something in regard to the series, but I'm not sure if she talked about a book 2 or just giving us some tidbits, or maybe she was talking about a movie. I don't know. But according to Amazon, this is part of a series, and I love this book down. This is my favorite Kennedy Ryan book. Like, I cried when I was reading this book. Legit cried. So yes, I will be continuing. Whenever she mentions the book, I'm going to be trying to get the arc or whatever. Like, somebody put me on a PR team. Please put me down, because yes, absolutely yes. I know I'm not alone. I know I'm not alone reading multiple series, not completing them. I know I'm not. I just know I'm not. But I think for 2025, what I'm going to try to do is read the books back to back, because I get super overwhelmed with having so much incomplete series. Like 12 is a lot. And actually, I only mentioned 11 because my 12th one, let me put these down. My 12th one is the book series that Mrs. Wiggins is in by Mary Monroe. The audiobook was a good time, and I'm going to recommend that to anybody who wants a messy, good, down south good time. However, y'all see the cover of this book, right? I don't want this book on my shelf. And it was a good time. Those was just one of those audiobooks where I needed something good to read, and everybody was raving about it, and I just wanted to see what it was about. It was good nonetheless, but I don't plan on finishing that series at all. Like, I'm good. Book number 1 was straight. The way it ended, I'm not even interested to see what happens next, because for me, the way Mrs. Wiggins ended was an end all. Like, that was the end for me. So yeah, 12 series. I will not be overwhelmed next year. Next year, I'm going to be reading series back to back. This year, I started off like that. This year, I started off reading series back to back. I'm going to be doing the same thing next year because this is kind of ridiculous. I think the only thing I can kind of say is if the next book hadn't released, okay, cool. But if the books are all out, sis, get to them. What did you waiting on? Why are you splitting them up? Why are you doing that? So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Comment down below and let me know how many series y'all are in the middle of. Are you guys in the middle of any of these series? I know a lot of us are in the middle of the Skyland series. And I know some of y'all are in the middle of the Legendborn Cycle series too. So if you read any of these and you are stuck in the middle of the series chokehold, let me know down in the comments. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Until next time, ta-ta.